Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Buckeye Wars. This is a little series I've put together. Little snippets, little memories. What it was like growing up in El Dorado Hills, California, back in the 70s and the 80s. So, I know I look kind of scruffy. I'm growing back my goatee. I feel naked without it. Anyway, when do you get up in the morning? Do you get up really early? Are you a morning person? This morning I woke up at 4. Couldn't get back to sleep for nothing. Sat there with my tablet and screwed around with a couple of games and looked at TikTok and looked at Facebook and decided to get up and went out and had me a nice breakfast. My question is, if you got up early, what'd you do? I can remember as a kid, growing up in El Dorado Hills, California, going fishing in the morning. And just couldn't sleep because I was excited. I was getting to go fishing in the morning. I had a boss when I was a kid because I used to mow his lawn every weekend. And he'd give me a $5 bill, and I'd use that to buy bait and lures. If I collected, a couple of weekends, I would buy some lures because I loved to fish. And he was a retired fire chief, so respected, and he was a really good guy. And he would take me fishing, and I would meet him at the bottom of the court because the bottom of the court emptied right onto. You had to hop a fence, but there was a dirt pathway, and then next to the dirt pathway was El Dorado Hills Boulevard. And he would meet me at the bottom of the court, pick me up, and the two of us would go and meet with a couple of his fishing buddies, and we would fish down there, Lake Natoma, really close to Old Folsom, right kind of near the Rainbow Bridge. And we would cast out salmon eggs. Sometimes we would float them with a marshmallow, or I think it was marshmallows we were using, and salmon eggs. You put on a marshmallow, and then you put on 2 or 3 salmon eggs, and it kind of floats up, and the fish are like, "Ooh, what's that? Yummy!" And by damned if we wouldn't limit out. We'd if I remember correctly, the limit was 5. And it was funny because here I am, a kid. I mean, I guess I was maybe a teenager, a young teenager, maybe 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. Because I mowed his lawn for, 5 years? A long time. And I was kind of naive about what goes on in the world. I mean, I knew what was in my world. But this guy that we fished with, Mexican guy, he said one day, he says, "Damn it, I want to catch me some fish." And we weren't having very good luck that day. He says, "Oh, come on, fishy, 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 fishy." I thought that was funny. And he said, "All I want to do is make me some fish tacos." And I looked over at him and I'm like, fish tacos? Because for me, a taco was like Taco Bell. It had hamburger. I didn't even know about steak tacos. It was just hamburger. Flavored hamburger in a taco shell, and, cheese and lettuce and tomato and whatever. It was a taco. And he said fish taco. And I had never experienced a fish taco. I had no idea what he was talking about. So, I mean, naive, maybe, sheltered from the world, maybe. But he went on and described his fish taco, and I was drooling all over myself. I'm like, God dang, that sounds yummy. But it was so funny. I had no clue that you could put fish in a taco. I think I actually gave him one or two of the trout that I had caught because I wanted him to be able to make his fish taco. He was a great guy. I also remember another thing about fishing down there with my boss. I had a fishing pole that was collapsible. It was telescopic, and you kind of screw it a little bit, and it collapsed into itself. So the whole thing kind of collapsed back into the handle, and the whole shebang was maybe, I don't know, 2.5 feet long, and then my reel. It was so convenient, and it worked great. And in some subsequent years, I got really liking the Shakespeare Ugly Stick. And my reel was always Mitchell 300. That was the reel that my dad bought for me, I think my first reel. And every time I would get a new reel, I would get a Mitchell 300. Awesome reel. Oh, anyway, that's why I would get up at the butt crack of dawn and go fishing. Because we would go early. I'm talking maybe 6, meet him at 6 in the morning or something like that. Which, for a kid that likes to sleep in, that's really, really early. Anyway, what do you get up early for? Thank you for joining me. Buckeye Wars.